up, what up? Been inspired to do a video real quick, so let's get her done. Let's get it done. So, numbers. It's gonna be real quick. It's not even gonna be long. When you think about numbers, so before we start this conversation, everything that has been taught to you was told to you by somebody else. It was all told to you by, people who you see as authority figures. So a lot of things that we learned in school, a lot of things we just learned in life, it's from people that we feel like have an authority in that field. But before they was an authority in that field, they was just like you. Didn't have that much information in that field, so they thought of their own concepts towards it and solidified it, and now it is law. It's no different than your philosophers from back in the day. Your Emersons, Ralph Waldo Emersons, your Plato's, your Manly P. Halls, all these men, and there's a lot more, Alan Watts, like all these men just stayed 10 toes down on what they believed in and just brought it to the masses. And so when we're learning things from people, it is just we're just learning their perception in that field. That's it. We're just learning how they look at things from their viewpoint. That doesn't mean it's necessarily law. And that's just my point of view. So now, all that being said, let's talk about numbers. So in school, we're taught that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It goes in that order. 0 is not a number. 0 is the absence of everything, so that it's not a number. But then I had to think about it. I was thinking one day, just chilling, and I was like, that don't make no sense if you think about it. See, in the physical world, it's very easy to be like, okay, 0, I have nothing. So, that means I have nothing. But if you think about it, the 0 still means something. And I brought this up in one of my other videos when I was talking about protons, neutrons, and electrons. The 0 point actually, to me, think about it like this. Let's say we give, so in today as a whole, you would say the 0 means nothing, and that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 would represent, independence. 2 would represent diplomacy. 3 would represent expression. 4 would represent stability. 5 would represent freedom. 6 would represent unity. 7 would represent now that you've perfected now that you've brought all things together in unity, now you can focus on the divine, which would be 7. 8 to me would be the cycles. Now after you learned about the divine and that it's bigger than your human experience, now you're paying attention to the cycles of just you, and just the cycles and just the ebbs and flows that are happening not only in your life, but just life in general. If you live long enough, or you just sit back and observe, you'll realize that there's a lot of cycles that happen in life. If you really think about it and you slow down, you'll realize that a lot of things that happen to you in certain seasons have happened to you it's been a pattern. Like a lot of things that happen to you in the summertime probably happened last year in the summertime too. Or like where if you live long enough and you just live life, you'll realize like, man, shit be getting lit for me in the fall time, or like shit just be popping out. Like however your cycle is, you realize those cycles at 8, and then 9 is when you're actually, full completion. You have damn near full awareness of just what's going on in this world, and then 10 would be the, okay, now that I have the knowledge of that whole cycle, now it's time to start all over again, learn some new things. So, but to me, so that would be the natural breakdown of just numbers and how I see them, how I feel like the collective sees 0 through 10. And then, they say there's actually no number after 10, it's really just 0 through 10. So, and then every other number is just like repetition. It's just different stages of that number. So, all that being said, what I've noticed is your zero is still meaningful. Meaning, like, in your 0 point, when you don't have anything, when you feel like, damn, I'm losing out, or like I took a loss and I don't have any money in my pocket, that 0 actually lights the fire for you to go get to your 1. Because without the 0, you're not even gonna feel the need to even go down the path of 1 through 10. If you get what I'm saying, like your 0 point to me would be your imagination. Okay, I don't have a girl. I want a woman in my life. So right now, what do? You imagine, okay, I'm imagining, what that would look like. That's the 0 point. Actually, to me, if we really want to get technical, that's still not even the 0 point. Because the moment, to me, you initiate intention and will, that's actually the 1 to me. The 1 to me isn't necessarily like physical. Like, I choose to do this, so now I'm going to start putting physical actions behind it. Like, yeah, that is the 1, but to me, that's actually the 2. See, let me break it down. This is how it is to me. For the 0, to me, it's like the 0 is really, what do they say? Potential energy. There's kinetic energy, and then there's potential energy. And potential energy is like basically like the potential. So it's like your untapped energy. So the 0 to me would just be like all the possibilities of you. So if like someone could take your life, if someone could take your life and like zoom out and see like all the possibilities of you, just like the whole quantum world of you, just like, okay, if you make this decision, if you make that decision, if you do this, if you do that, that to me is the 0. And it's funny because one of the symbols for quantum is 0, is a 0 and a 1 together. It's like a 1 inside of a 0. And so, yeah, to me, the 0 just represents potential energy and just like all the potentiality of all your choices in life. And then the 1 would be actually, okay, yes, I could have been a doctor, but I put my energy, yes, I had the potential to be a doctor, but I put my energy and will more towards music. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I could have been this, but I put more of my energy and will more towards that. Like, that would be the 1. The 0 would be like, okay, I have the potential to do that. And then the 1 would be, okay, now not only am I going forth in actions doing that, because to me, that would be the 2. See, the 1 is, okay, I'm stirring up the imagination. Okay, I want this in my life. The 0 is like the lack, and not lack in a bad way. Just 0 is like the understanding of, okay, this is what I want to experience. I'm looking around, I'm not experiencing it. So now I'm in my 0 point. I'm in okay, I see that. Okay, I'm looking at, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that. Okay, I'm in my 0 point. Let me tap into my 1. And it's so crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. How I just broke that down. I'm even realizing that shit for myself. That's what I be saying. I be having these talks sometimes just for myself. Cause it's like I'm going through the neurons in my brain, like, or just like them shits are just branching out, just firing, just new information. Cause think about it. When just like I said, the quantum world, they express the quantum world as a 0 and a 1 together, right? So think about what I just said. The 0 is you looking at all the possibilities. And then the 1 is like, okay, what now I'm seeing what that is in my imagination. I'm feeling me driving the car. I'm dreaming about me in this situation. That's you jumping into your 1. And then the 2 to me, so you looking around, okay, I'm in my 0 point. I don't have what I want right now in the physical. Let me dive into my 1. Okay, I'm imagining it. Now I'm doing it. The 2, now to me, the 1 is you dreaming it up in your mind, visualizing it, see how you gonna carry it out. And then the 2 would be, okay, now how does my dreams and aspirations fit into this world? How does it fit with my environment? 2. Meaning it takes 2 to make a thing go right. Now I'm dealing with relationships. And not just relationships, man, woman, romantic, platonic. No, I'm talking about just like how you relate to the world in general. Meaning like, okay, I like to do art. So what is out here so that I may express that energy. Okay, I like to save people. What are some things out here that I can express that energy in? So that's the 2. Looking at yourself and then looking at the environment and see how am I going to relate and move in my environment and still be able to be myself and still be able to be me. So that's 2. And then 3 is like, okay, now that I've moved in how I want to, now that I've looked at my environment, now I can fully express myself in the fullest capabilities. Because I've looked at myself, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want to express. I see how it relates to my environment. Now I'm bringing it all together and expressing that. And then the 4 would be, now that I've expressed that energy, now I'm stabilizing that energy. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm grounding that energy. Okay, at first I didn't have a YouTube channel. Damn, I'm looking around. I don't have nothing as a creative outlet for myself. I don't have nothing where I can speak my piece. Okay, boom, I made the YouTube channel. 1. Well, actually, really, no, that's 2. Because I looked around, okay, in my 0 point, I don't have no YouTube channel. I don't have a place where I can express my artistic thoughts and talents and all that. Okay, I'm visualizing how I will look. Okay, I'm visualizing how I'm going to do this. That's the 1. 2, I done made a YouTube channel. 3, now I'm expressing myself on the YouTube channel. 4, now it's solidified. I got 40-something subscribers. I got almost at 100 and some videos. Like, now it's grounded. Now it's some stability to it. You see what I'm saying? And now after that I done brought the stability to it, now I'm in my 5 mode. Where now, okay, I got a little freedom now. Like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I know what's for. Direction. North, south, east, west. By corners. What is it for? A cube. So now I understand. I've built this somewhat of a box, but it's safe. I know what I'm doing. My YouTube channel consists of this, that. This is what I have to bring. I'm solid. This is my foundation. I've created my foundation. You know what I'm saying? Now in me creating my foundation, now I'm able to have some freedom. It's just like if you know how, like, you first start a job or you first start a task, and at first it's like, okay, I'm a little shaky. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know how you do that. Man, after a year you doing it, now you up here doing this shit with your eyes closed. To me, that's the 5. That's you really, like, now that I done solidified myself in it, I can do this shit with my eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? At first, when I made the YouTube channel, might have been a little bit nervous. Might have not always came up here and did my videos. Now I'm in my 5 bag where I can just turn this shit on. I'm not nervous at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. That's the 5. And then the 6 to me is where it's more like, okay, now I'm perfecting it. Now that I've able to have freedom in it and I'm good at it, now I'm out here, okay. Now that I perfected that, now I'm trying to see what else is out here. I'm trying to perfect other things. I'm trying to get unity. I'm trying to bring it all together now. The 6. Now the 7 is, okay, now that I brought it all together, what's outside of this? How can I expand more? You know what I'm saying? What's the details now? Now that I've already solidified it, now that I've gained this experience from it, you know what I'm saying, I got a backlog, I got a history. Now with some details, let me see how I can make this even better. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's the sequence of numbers, low key to me, is really like, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's like building, which is really the whole point of numbers. But it's really like you're building, you're like stacking. You're starting from the seed and then you're sprouting into the flower. And the numbers is nothing but stages. And so, like I said, for the 7, it's just, okay, now that I've made my business, now that I've been able to not only made my business, but I've been prosperous in my business. I've had times where I've had to fire everybody. I've had times where I wasn't making that much money. I've been through a lot of experiences with this. So now I know some things. You know what I'm saying? Now we going into the 8, where now it's like, okay, the cycles. What's the cycles now? Okay, now I know the cycles of just me. Now I know the cycles of just how I choose to, like, not only live life, but not only the cycles internally that I go through, but the cycles that happen externally. Meaning, like, you even see it with like great investors where they'll know, okay, yeah, I need to invest this. Okay, the population, the collective consciousness is going more into this direction. Oh, let me go ahead and invest in that. No different than, like, I mean, Bitcoin was around in 2000. So, like, shout out to all the people that already knew, okay, I already see the cycles. I see where the world is going. Okay, we're getting away from physical money. Let me invest my money into this. But you only get to observe those cycles. You only get to take part in that when you, to me, experience. You're not gonna know certain ups and downs if you're not in the game, if you haven't experienced anything. You have to experience in order to see the cycles, in order to see, okay, right now it's up, okay, it's about to be down in like a couple months. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, it's just about taking a step back, observing, and just peeping. Okay, I see this moving over here. Okay, I see that moving over here. Let me move this over here. So that to me would be the 8. That's the cycles. I mean, even the 8 is shaped like an infinity sign. It looks like two loops intersecting, and cycles. So now that I've solidified the cycles, another example of cycles would be, okay, I know it. I know it's going to be cold in the winter. So let me prepare myself for the winter. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a rhythm. I'm seeing a pattern. So now let me take part in that pattern. Instead of me getting, that's another thing to me that 8 represents. Instead of me feeling like everything is happening to me, instead of me not paying attention to like the flows and the cycles of what's going on in my life, now I'm actually mastering the cycles. Now I'm able to know, oh, I didn't miss out on that investment because I caught that cycle last year and I'm on to it. So now I'm actually gaining. You know what I'm saying? From changes and things that are happening, instead of me just looking at life like, oh, everything's chaotic, everything is happening to me. Now I'm able to sit back. Okay, let me move over here because I remember what happened last time. Okay, let me move over here because I remember what happened last time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do this. I remember last time I did that, it didn't go out so well. That's you knowing cycles. That's you knowing yourself more. Like I said, the process of numbers is really just, to me, it's a backlog of experience. It's a backlog of experiences. That's all it is. So after the 8, it's the 9. And to me, 9 is where now I'm adding more spiritual and more metaphysical components to what I'm doing now. To me, the 9 represents, like, I feel like once you hit that 7 and that 9, that's when you start dealing with like spirituality. That's when you start, like, if you ever see the millionaires where they're like, any millionaires or any other like rich people where they're like, you know, I had all the money in the world, I had this and that, and it still felt like something was missing. I feel like you're entering that 7 and 9 stage, and that's when you're looking for something that's just beyond your experiences. When you start to realize, like, man, there's something bigger than just this physical reality. Now that I've mastered my physical reality, at first my mind was just on some survival mode. My life was just more on some like, okay, let me make sure I have my fight, flight, fornicate, freeze, let me make sure I got all my human, I got a roof over my head, okay, now that I've already mastered that, now I can start, you know, paying attention to faith, belief, you know, just the other worldly things that happen. Once you hit that 7 and 9, that's what that represents to me. But 9 to me is the highest quality of that. 9 to me is almost like you at 90% of all awareness of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a lot of, you still go through things in life. You're still learning, you're still growing, but you have a good understanding of just yourself and how that relates to the world. It's like, if you've ever played a video game, and at first when you play the video game, it's like certain sections of the map, they're very dark. Like, they're very like, you get there and you can only be in like one spot. And then as you know, experience more, you do more things, then you learn, oh, now this is available to me. Oh, this is open to me. After a while, now the whole map is open. To me, that represents the 9. And then the 10 would be, okay, I beat the game. Now I'm about to go play another game. I've mastered all the levels. Now it's time for me to take all the experiences and information that I learned from that and bring it over here. So for example of that would be, Where you got designers like, I remember Kanye West said it. He when he was doing his clothing, he actually hired a lot of architects. So it's like I'm taking all the knowledge I learned from architecture. And it's funny because a lot of fashion designers, like, they was actually in architecture before they started going to fashion. I think, yeah, it's a couple. I think even Rick Owens does like furniture and things like that. So it's like I'm taking all the knowledge I learned in this and bringing it over here. You hear that a lot with success stories. It's like, all I did was, I used to work for this company. All I did was just take all the information I learned from that and brought it over here. To me, okay, boom, you went through all the stages with that. Now you at your 10 point where it's like, okay, I'm the one jumping back into the 0, which would be a whole new experience, whole new perception, whole new mindset. But now I have a backlog. So now instead of me just starting off fresh, where it's like, okay, I don't know how to handle certain situations, I'm still wet behind the ears, because of what I've learned and what I've been through, because I've already hit my 10 stage, I can now take all that information and apply it to new experiences. So that's it. That's it, y'all. Hope I broke that down in a way, you know what I'm saying, people can understand. If not, replay it. It'll make some sense. It'll make sense. But that's it. Y'all be easy. Peace.